With temperatures dropping overnight, one local organization is opening its doors to make sure no one has to sleep in the cold. Hands Across Decatur is opening a warming center, offering a safe place to rest, a hot meal, and relief from the outdoors. The warming center opens at 6 p.m. tomorrow night at 1027 5th Avenue in Decatur. It will remain open until 8 Tuesday morning. I went inside to see how the organization is preparing. With cold weather on the way, Hands Across Decatur is preparing to open their doors to anyone in need. Volunteers say they're prepared to make room for everyone, bring out cots if necessary, while serving hot meals and providing a warm place to rest, refuel, and escape the weather.
Regardless of, if one person is safe from the weather, it's worth it. Fortunately, we have people that will give of their time, give of their funds, that we can do it. Pretty much about any time at any moment's notice.
With no official weather advisory in place, Hands Across Decatur says many shelters are not open, and most people don't realize how quickly sleeping out in the cold can become dangerous.
The best analogy to use in that situation is, if you go camping with the family, you go tent camping, and imagine doing that day in and day out. It doesn't get to be fun anymore. And, I've been in that situation, and when it gets that cold, the best thing you can do is, go somewhere.
When people arrive, they'll be asked to store their belongings in a locker before coming inside. Organizers say the goal is to keep the space safe, organized, and warm for everyone who needs it. All you have to do to use the warming center is show up and sign in at the front desk. Hands Across Decatur says they will be open all night and will reassess Tuesday morning if they will reopen Tuesday night. We start with North Huntsville businesses joining forces, trying a new way to keep customers and staff safe. It's called North Huntsville Connect. 18 businesses have teamed up using new technology to flag problematic behavior before it becomes a bigger issue.
We have devices that allow us to scan your ID when you come through the door. Once we scan your ID, we can tell who's been in the building. So universally, them devices will communicate with each other. So once you banned, if you go to an establishment that has the device, it'll tell them at the door that you're banned.
Business owners say it's about protecting staff and customers, but questions remain about how it works, how it's being used, and what kind of impact it's having so far. A night out in North Huntsville is getting a reset. 18 bars and restaurants are now linked through a shared security system designed to stop trouble at the door before it spreads down the street. Mark Patton, owner of Fourth Quarter Revamp, says growth has brought new challenges and a need to work together.
We're growing, so we're getting big city problems, and so to curb all that, we're just trying to get together and unite together and ban problem makers that comes out to our facilities.
Jabbar Westbrook, owner of Good Times Billiards and other businesses in North Huntsville, says the goal is consistency, making sure problematic behavior doesn't just move from one location to the next.
Sometimes it do be the same people that go from one place and get banned, and then they go to other places and start problems. So we're just trying to create like a citywide, ban for those people, the troublemakers.
And here's how it works. The scanners are used at the entrance of each participating venue. Staff scan a patron's ID, alerting security if that person has had a prior altercation at another location in the network. The system also shows how long a ban lasts, the reason for it, and which business issued it.
We're supposed to be effective in January. I started here just to kind of get how the equipment works and things of that nature. So we started using it here. The customers will love it. They feel more safe, that we are taking action and trying to make sure everybody is safe. So we're getting good reviews.
Both business owners say they believe this added layer of security could encourage more people to go out, while also helping discourage violence and other altercations.
Because now you got people that's going around saying like, hey, we can't get in no trouble because we're going to get banned. So, it's actually already been working.
Although not every bar has begun using the scanners yet, the system is expected to be fully implemented in January. Business owners say a Facebook group will help coordinate and expand the network.
Let's keep the trouble out the businesses, and we welcome more businesses to come.
As the network grows, owners hope this shared approach will make North Huntsville nightlife safer and keep a night out from turning into something more.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
I'm literally just cold standing in the studio right now.
I so agree.
Quite honestly, I dread what is to come.
I'm so scared.
I know, it is going to be extremely cold. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time here. I want to go ahead and jump out to our graphics because I do have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, I want to talk about all the rain that you see right now on the radar. We are expected to see just a little bit of rain throughout the overnight tonight. So right now we're dry, but we will see this rain move through while we're sleeping. Should be out of the way by the time we wake up early Monday morning. Now, it does have some severe weather with it, but it's way off to our north. We're not expected to see severe weather through the overnight. If anything, we might see some higher end wind gusts, but that's really all we are expected to see. So we'll see that line move on throughout the overnight tonight. Maybe a little bit of lingering rainfall back behind the main line, but heading into the early morning hours of Monday, so 5:30, 6 a.m., even into the 7 a.m. hours, will start to dry out and we will clear out as well. So by the late morning tomorrow, we'll be seeing plenty of sunshine. So most of us not even going to notice the rain. The only thing we'll probably notice are the very cold temperatures that are headed our way for tomorrow. So like I said, there it is. We will be seeing this sweep down to us here across the Tennessee Valley. We're sitting at 66 right now in Huntsville, but Little Rock, Arkansas sitting right at 49. We'll be even colder than that by about this time tomorrow. Temperatures right now are pretty mild all across the Tennessee Valley, just 1 degree shy of 70 over in Florence, 67 in Pulaski and in Fayetteville, 66 here in Huntsville. We're seeing the mid 60s right now in Scottsboro. Now, wind speeds are on the higher end right now because of that approaching frontal boundary. We're seeing about 18-mile-per-hour winds in Pulaski right now, 11 here in Huntsville. And as that cold front moves through, our wind speeds are expected to increase as well as the potential for higher-end wind gusts. And behind that front, we'll continue to see higher wind speeds and potentially higher wind gusts as well. Notice this is after the frontal boundary moves through, potentially still dealing with about 20 to 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So expect to keep breezy conditions in the forecast through much of Monday, but for the overnight into the early hours of Monday, we've got a wind advisory in effect for the entire Tennessee Valley. It's going to last until about 6 a.m. and that's just due to those higher end wind gusts that we could potentially see for tomorrow. But after the rain and the clouds move out, we are going to be seeing plenty of sunshine, but don't let the sunshine fool you. It is going to be really cold tomorrow, low 40s. Some of us may not even make it out of the upper 30s tomorrow afternoon, so it is expected to be cold tomorrow and even into Tuesday as well. Looking ahead to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it looks like we will see the lower 50s. Plenty of sunshine heading into New Year's Eve. Not sure why we're seeing the mostly cloudy icon with the rain there, but we definitely will be seeing some sunshine heading into New Year's Day. Getting ready to ring in the new year. It's going to be cold there. So we'll see really cold temperatures tomorrow and Tuesday. A little bit of a warm up as we look ahead to the back half of next week, and then looking ahead Friday into the weekend. It looks like that's going to be our next chance for rain, and by about this time next week, high temperatures back in the low 50s, seeing plenty of sunshine.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
We're supposed to go to Tampa at like 2:20, and now we're not leaving till 4:30.
I was supposed to leave this morning to Puerto Rico at 10 o'clock. Now they delay it to 2 o'clock. Now they delay it to 4 o'clock.
They canceled the flight to JFK, which of course we missed our connecting flight. Rebooked us for 7:25 tonight, which we're not even sure if we're going to make that because the plane that we're supposed to get on is running late getting here now.
We've got Toro rental cars we got to mess with. We got to land in a different airport up in Tampa instead of Sarasota. We've got another 6-hour flight wait before we get out of here.
It's just like a bad time, but it happens. Could be worse.
Nothing you can do about it. Just go with the ride. Mother Nature and God, you can't fight it.
It is a political priority for President Trump that this ceasefire deal moves to phase 2. As you've just pointed out there, it's also a humanitarian priority that there is the beginning of this reconstruction in Gaza as soon as possible. So as phase 1 is effectively over, with the exception of the remains of one Israeli hostage not having yet been returned to Israel, President Trump really wants to try and push the Israeli Prime Minister towards agreeing to this phase 2. We may see more details today on this board of peace, which the US President has said that he will head up. We are waiting for more details on the governance of Gaza, with Palestinian technocrats expected to be involved with that as well. And then, of course, you have this international stabilization force. This is boots on the ground that are going to keep the peace in Gaza from a number of different countries. We are waiting to hear more specifics on that. But of course, many countries will not agree to put boots on the ground until many of these prior issues have been resolved, and that is the governance and, of course, the fact that Hamas has to be disarmed. This is why we have heard from Israeli officials that Prime Minister Netanyahu has been reticent to push forward to phase 2 because he wants to see Hamas disarmed first before the Israeli military agrees to withdraw to different areas in Gaza Strip, so giving some of that land back. They do not want to do that to Hamas, who at this point appears to be filling the power vacuum and even trying to rearm. And of course, when you consider what the Israeli Prime Minister is looking at, he also wants to discuss Iran and Lebanon, believing that both are an increased threat to Israel than they were just a matter of months ago. But it will be interesting to see whether President Trump will entertain any discussion on those two issues, or whether his focus is going to be firmly on trying to push forward the process that he has created himself. He says that he has said that he is responsible for, that he has staked his credibility on the fact that this ceasefire will hold. But of course, we are seeing on both sides, Hamas and Israel, that the ceasefire has been violated on a number of occasions, but for the most part is holding.
Here are 5 things we've learned that you can do in the next year to improve your health and wellness. No gimmicks, no shame, and no heavy lifts. Just plain science. A reminder from doctors: you should wash your reusable water bottle at least once a week. Water bottles pick up germs from our hands and mouths, and should be washed just like any other dish. At the gym, exercise scientists say you can probably simplify your workout. No frills bodyweight workouts like calisthenics are making a comeback. They're cheaper, easy to do at home, and proven to work, though you may need weightlifting after a certain point. Skip the upcharge and put protein in your diet naturally. If you're getting enough to eat, nutritionists say you're probably getting enough protein, and don't need products that promise some big boost. Set simple boundaries with technology. The average person's attention span is 47 seconds on one screen. That's a third of what it was 20 years ago. But attention span can be retrained, mental health experts say, just like a muscle. Take a walk even if you live in the concrete jungle. Nature walks are great for your physical and mental health. But research shows that even a mindful walk in the city where you look for the green can be just as good.
You're quite the teacher.
You are perhaps the most intriguing person I've ever met.
There's more than a hint of Cinderella in the official trailer for Season 4 of Bridgerton, as Benedict Bridgerton searches for the mysterious lady in the silver gown who stole his heart. Bridgerton returns to Netflix January 29th. The Billboard 200 album chart is ending 2025 on a familiar note. Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl notched its 11th week at number 1. Swift's only album to surpass that, last year's The Tortured Poets Department, which was number 1 for 17 weeks. Jamie Lee Curtis got her start as a scream queen at age 19 in Halloween, but she could have begun much younger. Curtis said on The Drew Barrymore Show a producer wanted her to audition for The Exorcist when she was 12 years old. Her mother, actress Janet Leigh, said no. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We failed. We never stood a chance.
This is not over. Not by a long shot.
Stranger Things comes to a close with a 2+ hour final episode.
Everything we have ever assumed about the Upside Down has been dead wrong.
The show's creators never imagined the series going this far.
We were just amazed that someone, I mean, in this case, specifically Netflix, was letting us make the show. I mean, we were pretty young. We were 31. We had only had, really a failure under our belt. So, extremely green, inexperienced, with a bad track record. So it felt like a miracle that the show was getting made at all. So.
Help me find him. Kill him.
It was thrilling and almost overwhelming at first because it was hard to believe that it was real because it was very much driven by word of mouth, and it just sort of built and built and built and then snowballed. And then fear set in because we hadn't necessarily assumed this was going to be a long-running show, and the success meant that we needed to continue this over many years, and we didn't want to let our audience down that had loved these characters, loved season 1, and so quickly the excitement turned to fear and a little bit of panic.
I don't know what's on the other side of any of this. If we want to stand a chance of surviving, we need to be a team.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
With social media making it easier than ever to share information online, a disturbing trend has emerged. Doxing, the act of publicly posting someone's personal information without their consent, has become a weapon for online harassment. But in Alabama, can doxing land you behind bars? Let's verify. Doxing happens when someone shares your private information publicly without your permission. And for victims, the consequences can be serious, from nonstop harassment to stalking and threats. But can someone be arrested for doxing in Alabama? We verify. Our sources are Alabama's criminal code and cyberstalking statutes. According to Alabama Code Section 13A 1138, subsection B, you commit the crime of doxing if you intentionally publish, post, or provide someone's personal information electronically with the intent that others will use it to harass or harm them. The law defines personal identifying information as your home address, photos, or information about your children, including their schools or any other information that could be used to harass, threaten, or harm. But there's a catch. The person actually has to be harassed or harmed for it to be a crime. So what are the penalties? According to Alabama Code Section 13A 1138, subsection C, a first offense is a Class A misdemeanor, which can mean up to 1 year in jail and up to $6,000 in fines. But a subsequent violation is a Class C felony, which carries much harsher penalties, including 1 to 10 years in prison. Now, the law does have some important exceptions. According to subsection D of the statute, it doesn't apply to political speech protected by the First Amendment, and it doesn't limit the publication of contact information for public officials if the purpose is to encourage citizens to lobby them on policies or legislation. That means sharing a politician's official address or email so people can contact them about a bill isn't doxing. So we can verify that yes, you can absolutely be arrested for doxing in Alabama, but only if you intentionally post someone's information with the intent to cause harm, and that person is actually harmed or harassed. If you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather,
Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app, available on Android and iOS devices, streaming 24/7.